Hi folks, how we doing? Hope you're all well. Morgantium here. Tonight we're going to take a look at this tank, and this is the new Aspire Cleito 120. Yes. Now, got the original Cleito here, the little baby Cleito, the original one, with no coil, and it's a tiny little thing compared to this 25mm, 58mm high monster. Actually, there's not much difference in height between the two of them, but yeah, 22mm and 25mm. This also takes 4 mils of juice in the 120, and it's also nearly empty, but I'm going to do a close-up, so I should get one last vape out of it. Yeah, one last vape. I've had this now for about 2 weeks. I purchased this from K-Vape, yes. Actually, I can't remember how much it was. £25, I think, £25 for this. And yeah, we'll take a look in the close-up. I've currently got it on the Joytech Cubis at around 105. I'm enjoying this tank at 105 watts. I know that it says its range is between 100 and 120. It can go up to 160 if you push it, but I've not liked the flavour. A lot of my viewers, a lot of my friends will know that when it comes to the Cleito, when the original Cleito, the little one, I didn't like this tank, didn't like it at all. I mean, I never even bothered buying new coil heads for it. Once I used the coil heads, that was it. I never used the original Cleito again. Just didn't enjoy it. I thought it flooded, or it didn't work properly, and I know a lot of people out there love the original Aspire Cleito, but I was just never a fan. So anyway, we'll move to the close-up of the Aspire Cleito 120, and then I will fill it up and have a vape and tell you what I think. Okay, so close-up. Right, folks, let's take a look at this Aspire Cleito 120 max watt tank. What we got? 120 watt tank king, scrumptious flavour, controlled airflow, instant massive vapor. Vapor? No, vapor, not vapor. Light shining. The Cleito 120 is so groundbreaking it deserves a new class of its own. Maxi watt tank. Yeah, I mean TVF8 from Smok did this before, didn't they? You've got TVF8, well, the standard, and you've got the TVF8 baby. So, don't think the Cleito 120 was first. Ramp up to 120 watts, enjoy smooth airflow, intense flavour and gigantic vapour. Uses thick VGE liquid. Become king of the jungle. Oh really? Become king of the jungle today? Oh please Aspire, your advertising's laughable. Anyway, let's open the box. Right, inside we have our warranty card. Covered by a limited warranty. There we go. You can pause and read at that. In the back, you've got your different centres, QR codes. Oh, here we go. What's this say? While Cleito 120 is rated at 120 watts, it can easily handle 160 watts and higher. Yeah, I've had it up at 160 and it was a bit scorched. I must admit there was a bit of a scorching sort of flavour in the juice. So yeah, I mean, I've been using it at 105 watts, which I've found quite comfortable. Right, here we have the Cleito 120 itself. As I said, it's 25mm in diameter, and it's 50 from the top of the drip tip all the way down, it's 58mm. So it's actually not a bad sized tank. I do like these sort of 25mm tanks. They look nice on something like the Lux, or RX200, or these sort of bigger devices. The Sigeli 213, even the, I mean, I've been using it on the Cuboid. Yeah, the Cuboid. Yeah, the Cuboid from Joytech. You get them in black and silver. Let's pop this down, just let's see what's else in the box. Right, you get a spare glass tank. You also get a spare coil head. Take this out. Same design as the standard Cleito. It's basically the whole coil head is your chimney, the coil, the whole section. That attaches to the top cap, and this attaches to the base. So it's exactly the same sort of design. It's just much bigger. Much bigger. It should say on it actually. Aspire Cleito 120, 0.16 ohms, and 100 to 120 watts. Yeah, I don't know what those fins are for. When I first saw those fins, I thought, well, it looks as if the coil wire is actually touching them, but you get no burnt hits. I mean, it performs really well. And of course, you get your little Aspire band as well, which I never use. Right, put this aside. Right, let's get the original Cleito out, which I never use. Right, the original Cleito. Do a close up side by side, and the Cleito 120. Now, height wise, apart from this chuff cap style top cap, which I'll come on to, there's not actually a lot of difference in height, but yeah, you can see that this 25mm versus the 22mm. It's a much bigger tank, the 120. Throw it away. I was never a fan of the original Cleito, as I said in the opening. Didn't like it at all. Alright, let's take this tank apart. Right, top cap unscrews like so. Now this top cap, unlike the original Cleito, is a solid lump of Delrin. You've got this sort of silicon washer. There's like a silicon washer in here. Now you can see that better there. That's like a silicon rubberized. But the whole top cap itself is actually, the whole thing's a chuff cap. You can't take this apart. I mean, like the original Cleito, you can eventually you take that off and you can get different drip tips for the original Cleito. You can't do that with the 120, so you can't use standard 5. I mean, what you've got is this Delrin section. That is your top cap. You cannot customize that or take it apart at all. But it is very comfortable to vape with. It doesn't heat up. You know, it's nice, smooth. It's, you know, comfortable at the top. So yeah, I've got no issues with this sort of chuff style top cap at all. Move to the tank itself. As you can see, you got a fill hole here. There's those big teeth again. There's no way to describe them. Like a gnashing maw. Yeah. Screws off like so. No, I hadn't screwed it in properly. Right. To change a coil, which I'm going to do actually, because I've been using this coil head for 2 weeks and it is starting to taste a little funky. So after 2 weeks, it's a little funky. Let's just see if we can take it out. So look at this coil. Whoa, that's tight. That's very tight. Because I wouldn't be able to push anything down through that. Ooh. Oh yeah, that's disgusting. Ew. So we've got, oops. We've got non-resistant wire. Right, so you've got non-resistant wire. So the heating element part is this section, the black section here. This part here, this is non-resistant wire here and here. So that would explain why those teeth weren't earthing it if that's non-resistant. There we go. But yeah, we've got two, focus. Yeah, we've got two parallel pieces of coil, which would explain why it was 0.16 ohms. Yes, standard Canthal, dual parallel vertical coil, and very funky cotton. Yuck. Very funky. Man, that's 2 weeks that's lasted. Yeah, 2 weeks, can't complain at that at all. Right, new coil head. Okay, new coil head. Let's pop it in the base. There's your base section, your airflow. Yeah, we've got three airflows here. Which they don't lock in place, they spin continually, which is a bit annoying. It is a bit annoying. These are about 15 millimeters by 2.5 millimeters. So about 2.5 millimeters high by about 15 millimeters across, and there's 3 of them. But yeah, they just, I mean, the resistance is nice in the airflow, but they don't lock or stop, they just keep spinning. But this is a budget sort of baby high wattage tank. Right. Coil head screws in like there. There we go. Right, we need to drip this up, get it primed. Ow. Rattle, rattle. Right, I'm going to use some Dinner Lady rice pudding with jam. Oh, this stuff is lush. I love rice pudding anyway, and I'm on a diet. So, yeah, I can get my rice pudding fix without putting the calories on, I hope. Just prime the coil up. You notice that the coil, there's 3 juice intake holes, which mirror the AFC. Get it well primed. There we go. Stop seeing, there we go. So yeah, Dinner Lady, rice pudding with jam. Very nice juice. Then you pop your glass on like that. And then you fill in for the top. Well, actually be helpful to put the top cap on first, right. Top cap's on. Now sometimes I've noticed when filling the Cleito 120 up, I get an airlock because there's only one fill hole. Only one little fill hole, as you can see. And sometimes I get an airlock and it doesn't fill very well. Remember, this takes 4 mils of juice, so it does take, you know, a good amount of juice. It's not like the TF-V8, it doesn't drink juice. Actually, it's quite sensible, especially when I'm vaping at 105 watts. Yeah, I can get, you know, there we go. See, it was starting to rise up there. Yeah, you've got to be really slow with filling this 120 up. You get a little air pocket and it just fires back on you and goes over the side of the tank, and you end up with juice everywhere. Be enthralled as Keith fills the tank up with juice very slowly. You can see it's bubble, bubble, bubble. The closer you get to the top, the more chances of getting an air block. I usually take it up to the top. If you can see that line top of the coil head, I usually take it up to there, so leaving a little bit of air at the top of the tank. Yeah, that'll do it. That's probably perfect. And then we take a Delrin Chuff top cap, screw it on. Just give it a little wipe. And we're now full of rice pudding and jam. Oh, rice pudding and jam. So that's the Aspire Cleito 120. Let's pop it back onto the Cuboid 150, have a vape, and I'll tell you what I think overall. Right, that was a close-up of the Aspire Cleito 120. It's filled up with the beautiful Dinner Lady's rice pudding with jam. And yeah, I've put that vape band on it just to show you what it actually looks like with the vape band on it. No, just no. Horrible things. I just don't like vape bands. But saying that, on something like the Cuboid 150. I do. It's a nice looking setup. Nice looking setup. Quick vape. And with the new firmware upgrade on the cuboid, I've basically got the ramp up. So the ramp up kicks in at 115 watts and then shoots after 0.5 of a second. It drops to 105. And with the Cleito, with the Aspire Cleito 120, it's performing really well. It does certainly produce a lot of vapor. Flavour, well, to be honest, it's all right. I've tasted better. I do prefer the Freemax Star Pure, the 25mm tank they do. I do prefer the flavour from that tank, although that uses lower wattages. I've been using this for 2 weeks on and off. You saw that coil head, that lasted 2 weeks of coil head. But I suppose if you were only using this tank, you'd probably get 3 or 4 days of a coil head. They're quite expensive. Actually, let's price the coil heads. Aspire Cleito 120 coil. Actually, that coil head needs to bed in. Yeah, that's not tasting very good just now. I noticed that the first time that I used it. Yeah, it definitely needs to bed in. When I first started using the 120, I noticed half a day I was getting a sort of funky flavour until the coil actually bedded in, and then, so yeah, it will bed in. Coils. They are a 5-pack. You're looking about, let me see, you're looking about sort of anywhere between £10 and £14, depending where you buy them from. For 5 replacement coil heads. No, that's for the standard. No, that's for the standard. Yes, I'm over 18. Go away. Right. Right, a box of 5 replacement Cleito 120 coil heads. They are $16.99. That's 5. So, overall, I do like this Delrin Top Cap Chuff. Okay, you can't use a 510. I don't think you can use a 510. No, it doesn't take 510 at all. The bore, you're looking for about, yeah, it's about 50mm across the top, so it is a very wide bore, sort of chuff cap style. It's a noisy tank. I'll give it that. It is a noisy tank. The TFV8, the original TFV8, and the Cleito 120. As you can see, the TFV8 is much taller, but at least you can use standard 510 drip tips in this if you want with the adapter, or you can get customizable, beautiful sort of resin style drip tips for the TFV8. Which do I prefer? TFV8, to be honest. There's more options. You've got that RBA section. You've got lots of options for coils with the TFV8. With this, you've got your 0.16. That's it. 0.16. But this is probably £10 cheaper than the Smock TFV8. So it's a bit more of a budget tank. Yeah. Over the original Cleito, I think it's a massive improvement. I mean, the original Cleito, again, I'll say it again, I just didn't like it. It wasn't my cup of tea. But people out there do love the original Cleito. And you can get an RBA section now for the original Cleito, and you get that horrible bell sort of tank extension. But as I said, I've not seen an RBA section for this yet. I'd imagine that Aspire at some point will bring one out. I mean, and they'll probably bring out a big bell. No, yeah, whatever. Yeah, so overall, it's a good tank. It's an everyday tank, good for use. Takes 4 mils of e-liquid, which is really, really good. Not really a lot can go wrong with it. I've not had any leaking from this tank at all. cross fingers. Never had any leaking at all from this, I must admit. The TFV8, some coil heads, when you, well, the first sort of few hours of use, you sometimes get a little bit of dribbling, but never had any of this at all with the Cleito 120. So overall, yeah, it's a good tank. Yeah, it's... Actually, how much... Oh, dear. What's Vampire Vape selling it for? Yeah, £25.99, £25 is about, yeah, about the usual. TFV8. Yeah, well, there's about £8 difference in price between the TFV8 and the Cleito 120, and the little baby, the TFV8 baby tank, is the same price. So, if I didn't have any of these tanks and I was going to go out and buy one of those tanks, which one would I buy? I'd buy the Smock TFV8 because I do prefer it. I do prefer the flavour. I do prefer the styling of the TFV8. This is very plain. It's very simplistic, but you've got no customising options at all with this tank. So yeah, but overall, I'm impressed. I think it's a good tank, and it's definitely one to try. If you want to try one of these new maxi wattage tanks, yeah, give it a shot. The good thing is, with it being Aspire, you're going to get access to lots and lots of coil heads, lots of spares. So it's, yeah, that post-purchase support from Aspire has always been very, very good. Another quick vape, and then I'll wrap it up. Not bedded in yet. Yeah. Unlike the TFV8, it doesn't drink juice. That's another pro. Yeah, doesn't drink juice. The TFV8, you just watch that juice level go straight down. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, share, and I'll catch you all again soon. Thank you very much. Ta-da!